Please welcome to the stage Joan from Injective and Edgar from Nansen. Big round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to welcome here Joan, who's a brilliant product manager at Injective Labs. That's one of the most successful protocols on Cosmos. Would you tell us about yourself? How did you get into the space and what do you do?
Sure, so thank you for having me here. I'm Joan, I'm from Barcelona. I have a technical background. I've been working as a developer for around 10 years. And I moved for a while into a bit of agility, agile coaching, and so on. I felt a bit too far from the action, and I moved into product. I have been in product for around 10 years, and from those 10 years, 5 in blockchain-related roles. I've been in marketplaces for exchanging BTC and Ether. I've been in riding the Axie Infinity wave, and now in Injective Labs.
Nice. And how did you then end up in Injective? And how's the experience coming from your previous background?
Started with blockchain in general 2017. A lot of money put into learning how to trade, let's put it this way. A lot of losses there. But since 2017, I wanted to get closer as a product manager to get into blockchain. I did it through Paxful, peer-to-peer marketplace of BTC and Ethereum. That was a good learning. Left that for the Axie Infinity wave, which was a wild ride. And the company that we built around that was a tracker around Axie Infinity, how to track all these themes. A lot of learnings, and of course we disappeared with that wave. And it's when I started with Injective. I had some people working in there, was not really well known at the moment, Injective, and I started at the moment.
2017, hey? We all have our peak of bull market where we get in here and then we just sit through the ride, hey? So since you have such extensive product experience, both from Web 2 and Web 3, how do you see yourself building a product in a space where everyone has an attention span of a goldfish and a memory of Homer Simpson?
Yeah, that's a great question. Even starting from the onboardings, right, that we are all trying to narrow down a bit, like how we onboard a lot of people that it just goes so fast, right? People just want to see green candles and want to see meme coins and AI agents, and you just need to reframing the narrative and sometimes reusing things that you maybe have already and just repurpose it for following the narrative. And to be honest, meanwhile, you are building more meaningful things that are going to be the backbone of the next things that are going to be probably making the next wave.
Great. And then how is now Injective positioning itself in this whole crazy wild ride?
Yeah, so sure, meme coins, everyone wants to be close to that. That's happening, and what we are doing it with, it's through this agent, something that has built to use ChatGPT on top of the exchange model, which is the main primitive to build on Injective. Cosmos model, and with that you can just use prompts to create tokens, markets, vaults, and really make much easier for anyone to be starting a meme coin on Injective.
So is it then that with a couple of prompts you can you can create an agent, and then that agent would have a wallet?
Yeah, you interact with prompting with the agent. You can create a wallet. You can create a token itself. It's going to guide you through the process of making the token. You could even create a market if you want to. And I don't think it really connects with all the smart contracts of the vaults, but I think pretty soon it's going to be able to also to create vaults, which would be the automatic market making that you would need to be able to start a market.
Oh, very interesting, very interesting. And because that is now one of the newer products of Injective. But yeah, you've been building tools for institutionals and for individuals and lots of things going on in the DeFi space. What are some of the themes that you're most proud of in Injective?
Yeah, a big one is going to be the ability to run smart contracts in Solidity on Injective. So basically you can have a Solidity smart contract interacting with Cosmos models for Injective. That would be the mostly the exchange, obviously a bunch of things that are going to make this ability to have smart contracts run on Rust, on Solidity. So that's a big thing that I'm super excited about, to be honest. I think it's going to be having many more builders joining Injective because of that. And that's always great news. So that's one of the biggest one for me.
Right, because you said earlier, right, liquidity is king. So trying to attract liquidity is probably the key goal to achieve there. Are there any other initiatives that you have going on in order to achieve that?
Yeah. So basically now there is a lot of market making, professional market making. We want to democratize the access of this, providing liquidity and get these rewards also. So there is a lot of trading bots that are really helping anyone to be able to provide this liquidity, make some strategies that they are not too aggressive. Maybe you're not going to get a whole lot of P&L, but you're going to get incentive running these strategies. We have people, we talk a lot with the community, we have people in Turkey running trading bots, and they have it as a side job basically, and they are paying their utility bills with the trading bots. So we are super happy to hear from those stories.
Right, because these days you don't know who's a bot and who's not, right? And you have human MVV and everything going on, right? How easy is it to get started on Injective that you want to build? Either you want to build a bot or a market maker or to enter the ecosystem to somehow get started as an individual?
Yeah, as an individual, this whole trading bots thing, it's quite easy. You just need to set few parameters and you are running. We are making it UX-wise easier and easier, like simplifying all these interfaces. As you were saying, the attention span is not the biggest thing that it's growing in the space or anywhere maybe. So simplifying these UXs, it's what we are doing. Even like how do you subscribe a vault and get some yield, that's getting much easier. But also all these tools are open source. People can get this inspiration to bring their own tooling for this. So for builders, it's also getting much easier also to deploy these smart contracts that are audited. Maybe you don't want to audit that just yet because you don't have this traction and you don't want to spend this amount of money, but you can really get some audited contracts and you can really get started on running those strategies yourself or offering them as a product.
How is the distribution between, let's say, institutional players versus individuals? I don't know if you have any statistics on that, on Injective.
I don't have very good statistics because I have a lot of information about Helix, but that's just like a subset of the whole trading that happens in Injective. So I cannot really say how much of that, but most of the rewards are going for professional market makers right now, and that's one of the themes or the challenges that from the product we are trying to equalize this, right? Like to make it much more retail oriented, and we need less market makers.
Can you explain Helix?
Sorry?
Helix?
Oh yeah, Helix is a decentralized exchange. Basically, yeah, it's like the flagship decentralized exchange on Injective.
And are they the dominant one? Do you have multiple different exchanges? How's the ecosystem looking now?
Yeah, for DEXs, really like Helix is the dominant one. We offer a DEX that has most what Helix has, also like as open source. But yeah, I think it's not that easy to compete when you have a big player already there. There are also other DEXs that are not order book integrated, like Dojo Swap, that really are making things very easy for users, and that's growing. So we are super happy to have these people growing also. But it's not on the decentralized on-chain order book. It's a bit different.
Right, because Injective has done some black magic to enable super fast transactions and really high transaction throughputs. How many transactions per second can you do now?
So theoretically, I think there is like, I don't remember, but we don't really have I'm not going to make up a number just like out of my ass, but it's not being a problem at all, basically, and I think that's not going to be the issue for a long while. Even like the benchmark that we are making with the new model that we are adding of for the EVM, I think it's looking pretty good. It's like, say, with this double processor of transactions and so on, we are in par with that right now.
And what have you done in your technology stack in order to achieve this super high throughput?
I hope that the chain team will not hear this interview, because now, to be honest, I don't know all the exact things that we are doing inside the chain. And the first thing, really, like, it's not speed, it's about security. That's the main primitive that we are having. So speed can come a bit later, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you all the secrets there.
It's surely super fast. Yeah. Where do you see the injective ecosystem developing in the near future? What do you have in the pipeline that people are excited about?
Again, this EVM, right? So that we covered, and that's going to be, for me, massive. That's a very big thing. I think we are going to see more integrations with all that it's AI. That's also like things that we are looking for, how to make it better. And we are putting a whole lot of effort on making onboarding easier and more accessible. We start to use or play with this Web 2.5, Web 2.0 curious people that maybe they don't want or they don't understand to use like a wallet. So you can log in with emails, and they can start to check inside the application without having much, simplifying how these guys can bridge from maybe a centralized exchange, making all these things easier for them. I think it's also a big theme. The question is, maybe is a decentralized exchange the place to onboard these people, or should be another product that simplifies this experience, even though if they're interacting with an order book? Question mark.
Yeah, because compared to like previous cycles, we have now developed the tech. Like previously, transactions were slow and they were expensive, and we had all these great products coming to market that couldn't onboard, but then also like they were clunky to use. So it feels like now we have solved the technology part, but we haven't solved the onboarding part. So it's getting Web 2 people to Web 3 seems the true bottleneck here. Like, are you putting a lot of emphasis on that within the team also?
Yeah, 100%. Like, we are trying to do it first with the products that we have more traction, and Helix, one of them, even Maito, and see what works and what doesn't work. We have a lot of learning so far on what does and what doesn't, but yeah, it's hard to convert a lot of people to use something. Maybe you're coming from another chain, you're used to a kind of experience. There is all these little differences that you need to learn again, so it's not a unified experience when you're just going around from different applications. So it's a very tough problem. I think it's like the things that we need to crack.
What are some of the things that you have learned in trying to make onboarding easier, and what worked?
What is working clearly is to have this kind of login with emails or Discords or Twitters. That's really working for people to enter and see what's going on in the application. It's not working for people to really trade. It's missing something there still. I think, and that might not be Injective alone, it's going to be through other partners, maybe Magic. I don't know if you guys know these guys. They're doing an amazing job. They're doing a lot of things on account abstraction, chain abstraction, and I think they're using Polymarket also, which clearly had a product market fit, right? I mean, that's obvious. I think through that we can get a new wave of users that will not care that much about that because they have started to use some other applications and they can very easily cross-pollinate, not understanding what a bridge is, not understanding a lot of the basics, and who cares, right, if they go to the rest of the chains and check new things.
Right. Yeah, so we've spent all this time now building the infrastructure, so now we need the apps, right? We need the consumer apps to come on board there, really. Are you guys incentivizing that side as well, or how do you look at how do you bring all the consumer apps on chain?
Yes, for example, Maito, a lot of people are just starting a new AI meme coin or a regular meme coin. They use the vaults to start to so they put rewards into these vaults with the coin that they just created to create this effect of like you add liquidity, you get rewards. So that's really working well. We see a lot of these people also using this launchpad feature that we have on Maito. You just can go and get fund for your project, so that's really also working. And we're seeing that these little things are what jumpstart a new market and get people starting this snowball effect. So that's happening. Helix also is a bit more formal everything, kind of like maybe we think a bit more of like which incentive we are giving for which actions, and that's a bit two different ways to do it.
Maybe if anyone in the audience has a question for Joan, we have maybe we can take a minute to answer.
Hello. I just wanted to ask about the new Intents season, like the new application Anoma. They talk about like.
No.
Oh, cool.
Sorry.
They want to develop this kind of interface to app chains and bridges so that the user interact with declare his intent and then the work of like. So I was wondering, as your project is working more in the back end of all that happens in the crypto space, if it was something that you are.
So
looking.
I'm personally not super familiar with it. It's something that we are discussing a bit on other areas of product, but unfortunately I cannot give you a much better answer.
Anyone else? Questions? Well, if not, then thank you very much, John, for coming through and sharing your story.
Thank you.